And so now that we're done with the Zerg, we're forced to join the Protoss at their darkest hour. Literally just spent all this time trying to invade their goddamn planet, and now we have to clean up our own mess. So, the Overmind has infested Aya, and now we have to try and hold it. The beautiful homeworld.
Entaro Adun, Executor. I am Judicator Aldaris. I have been sent by the Conclave to serve and counsel you. The former Executor, Tassadar, was commanded to halt the Zerg progress in the Terran sector by burning the infested human worlds. Unfortunately, he disregarded his orders and attempted to destroy the Zerg while sparing the Terrans from the flame. Clearly, Tassadar has failed us. You must not. The Conclave has dictated that our first priority is to strengthen our defenses. You must reinforce our outpost in Antioch and make certain that the province does not fall to the Zerg. Your old comrade, Praetor Fenix, will meet you there and assist you in this endeavor.
Holy shit. I do want to put up, after this little intro section, a picture of how he looked in the original, because some of the Protoss sort of original portraits were actually a little bit confusing and kind of weird. And the province of Antioch, nothing like a good biblical name to make something sound mystical.
Initiated.
But we finally get to play as the Protoss, which is something that we haven't been able to do before.
For vengeance.
And the Protoss were always kind of mystical, a bit strange, a bit weird in the campaign.
Lord, we stand and we are the blades of iron. La Adan Atum. Justice be done.
That's the Starcraft 2.
Honor, my meditation is over.
That makes me sad. I mean, these are Starcraft 1 Dragoon sounds, which is good. I think they are, at least. Sounds like it. But it's not Starcraft 1 Zealots, which is a shame because they have really cool sounding voices. I'll see if I can get that working at some point. Now the Protoss have, of course, unique advantages, the biggest of which is shields. So 60 shields and 100 hit points on each unit. Shields regenerate quickly when out of combat. As such, it makes them very durable. Hey, it's a favourite thing in the world, a gas geyser. Otherwise, I mean, we should have a quick recap of the plot while we're just traipsing our way over to meet Fenix. I'm sure it's not going to be difficult, although good to see that Dragoon movement AI is still a little bit dumb. Send the Zealots in first. Dragoons are so clunky and silly. So, I mean, in the beginning, we were playing as a new Terran Magistrate. Brand new and shiny to the job, and suddenly these mysterious Zerg creatures invade. Now, Protoss have also been spotted on the outskirts of Terran territory. They basically burned an entire world. And that was our good buddy Tassadar.
Executor, Entaro Adun, it is good to see you once more upon the field of battle. I feared we would be left to protect the province with no reinforcements. I should not have questioned the Conclave's judgments so hastily. I am needed. Alas, all of our probes were lost in the last Zerg attack, and we had no resources with which to replace them.
Well, that's bloody silly. So I'm guessing this is a Protoss tutorial. They're not too different to
Lord Executor?
normal races. I guess they're more normal than Zerg, let's put it that way, simply because you make stuff out of buildings. The only real unique thing
intended to construct photon cannons
is
here for
pylons.
defense, but without probes we could not do so.
And Protoss, of course, have the unique warping in mechanic, so let's make a cannon. And instead of having, you know, the probe build it constantly, it just places a beacon to warp it in. Can we build up here? No, we can't. That sucks. But otherwise, we're just going to make probes for the foreseeable future. We have more than enough units, I'm sure, to hold out. Yep, Tassadar burning worlds. And then Tassadar generates a kind of a soft spot for the Terrans. He sees that they're fighting against the Zerg and decides, well, let's give them a chance. Let's try and bail out Jimmy Rayner and General Duke.
You must construct additional pylons.
And he manages to pull it
Our
off.
gateway has no power. We must build a pylon near it so that our forces can be brought to this place.
So we have to build a pylon. Whoops. These are original probe noises, at least, I think. Which is adorable. Because the original probes are adorable.
Command me.
These definitely aren't
Tassadar.
StarCraft 1 zealots. Maybe if we build them, they'll be StarCraft 1 zealots, so I want to try that, see how that goes. Build me a zealot. One thing you'll notice about the Protoss as well is that their units generally cost a lot more, but they are a lot more cost efficient. So they're expensive, but they're good. Unfortunately, as a result, Protoss were always my weakest race, both in StarCraft 1 and in StarCraft 2. You might have noticed that when playing Zerg, I kind of naturally took to the macro, and that's because I played Zerg quite a lot when I used to play ladder.
Justice be done.
Nope, these are all StarCraft 2 Protoss, which is a shame. Silly Zerg. What chump is in charge of this invasion? It's not nearly enough Zerglings. It's not how we do things. Yeah, Tassadar generates a soft spot and starts to go a bit off kilter. He ends up on Char for some reason, and we don't really understand why. And he's sort of goading Karrigan rather than trying to burn Zerg worlds. We eventually do learn why, of course that will be a big part of this campaign. But until that point, we're just stuck waiting. Of course, Karrigan gets infested and is still currently hunting down the Dark Templar on Char.
That we would be fighting on Aya. The Zerg are indeed worthy foes.
You must construct additional pylons.
Oh, Fenix, you silly man. So you might have noticed there was a cut there. That's simply because I had to step away and basically replayed the mission. Unfortunately.
What would you ask of me?
Still, I also want to draw attention to something that Fenix says, which is,
Hunger for battle.
I should not have questioned the Conclave so readily, and that's going to be one of the approaching themes. Because Tassadar is one of the wise and noble Templar. It is sort of sacred warrior order, or very powerful psionics. He's not dumb. Not to say that the Conclave is necessarily dumb, but let's just say the Protoss have a slight issue with tradition. Oh, they meow! Ah. I love meowing probes. Otherwise, we're just going to set up a macro, build up a nice big attack force, shoot the wildlife.
I hunger for battle.
Field depleted.
So I have a nice big force of Dragoons, but Dragoons are kind of interesting. Even in Starcraft 2, they struggle a bit because they are, an odd term, space inefficient. Like, I need to push up this tiny ramp, and only about 2 Dragoons can fit up the ramp at a time. And it's actually kind of hard to squeeze them all into space. For example, this amount of space as Marines would be insane damage output. As Dragoons, it's not spectacular, so you have to be so careful about creating what we call the concave, the arch around the enemies. You should have enough here, though that's quite a big force. Come on, Dragoons. There'll be more Zealots. Get these guys in. It should be enough to kill all this stuff off. Yeah, we got it. And we do need to be careful. Oh hey, there's another ramp up. Kill that up for me, thank you.
I was remembering the time we faced the Tagal on Danath 7. They outnumbered us 30 to 1 that day, yet we overcame their legions like true Templar, just as we shall overcome our foes today. Oh, I wish Tassadar could be here with us.
Oh, Fenix. So Fenix is just kind of trying to show you what the Protoss culture is like. You know, they're this very advanced race, but they definitely have warrior tradition and warrior kind of history. You know, they romanticize the warrior ideal. It's still weird to me that Zerg buildings don't spawn broodlings. I always wait for that quick sort of spurge of Zerg units to come flying out of it. Now let's get Fenix into the mix. Fenix is your typical Zealot at the moment. Spoiler. Not really a big spoiler. Again, I don't think anyone is going to be too surprised by the events of this game. He's just basically an incredibly strong Zealot. Emphasis on incredibly strong. He's also faster moving as this takes forever to kill. It's also very noisy. Finally. Looks like there's more Zerg base over this way. Probably just another hatchery, maybe a spawn. There we go. Oh no, Phoenix didn't die.